I think there's something so perfect about this video coming out after my What We Do in the Shadows video. There's something just so perfect about this collection of media. Oh my god, Our Flag Means Death is so good. And like, I never doubted it for a second, because when Taika Waititi came out and said he was going to be executive producing and starring in a pirate show where he's Blackbeard, I was so in. I was telling everybody about it. And then it didn't come to the UK, and I couldn't watch it. But I have watched it. It's so good. Let's jump straight into this. So, what is Our Flag Means Death? For those of you who might not have even heard of this show, and if you haven't, get your dang butt on HBO Max right now. It's the 1800s, the grand years of piracy. Stede Bonnet, who's this upper-class gentleman, has found that he's in an unfulfilling life. He basically hates everything that's going on. He's been forced into a marriage and have kids that he didn't want to have, and he has this yearning for adventure. So, one night, he just sells everything. He just gets up and leaves and buys a pirate ship and is now a pirate captain. He has no idea what he's doing. Enter the amazing Taika Waititi and also Blackbeard. He swings in and aims to sort of like take over the boat, but then ends up like falling in love with Stede. I know, it's amazing. But he teaches him the ways of being a pirate, how to better be a badass pirate. In return, Stede is going to teach him how to be more of a gentleman, how to escape his life of piracy that little bit more. The show not only has this amazing plot, it also contains some of the best character development and character backstories that I've ever seen on screen, and it has some really heartwarming love story and love moments, and I'm going to cry. I think wholesome vibes are just what this show irradiate. It's amazing. I've also just realized that Jeff Goldblum, my cutout of Jeff Goldblum's mouth is just it's just that. It's just that. But why should you watch Our Flag Means Death? Well, I'm gonna tell you. First up, we've got to talk about the queer representation in this show, and if you haven't heard already, it's so damn good. Like, I feel like this was its main draw. I mean, pirates was my main draw, but then queer pirates, like, sign me the hell up. It's done so well in this show. It's so heartwarming and wholesome, and it just makes you want to cry. A lot in the media, like, not recently, but a lot beforehand in my own experience, I found that films and TV show make queer characters out to just want to have sex, and that they're just sex driven, when in reality we're humans too, and we love just romance and love, and we just want to be loved, and those kind of relationships are super important, and having them on the screen is so cool to see. Like, watching just a relationship just be because they love each other is amazing. Like, sure, there are hints to sexual relationships in this show, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, it's lovely that they focus on love and not sex in this show. I feel like the main thing that this show does is it just shows how beautiful queer relationships are. You can see how important these relationships are from the eyes of the characters. There's moments when a hug just means everything. There's so much storytelling going on from a hug. How amazing is that? The editing of this show is an absolute masterclass. I feel like it's edited perfectly for a TV show, because the editing sort of cuts out a load of stuff that we don't really need to see. It allows the show to be running at such a fast pace, but also not at a whiplash pace. You're not like, oh my god, what's going on now? No, it just cuts out everything that you don't need to see. If you want to be an editor or a filmmaker, I definitely recommend watching at least episode 2 of this show, because that's where the editing really does shine. And speaking of filmmaking, this show is shot in such an interesting way, because first of all, it's quite a simple, like, setup. Like, a lot of the camera work isn't gonna blow your socks off. It's not the best thing I've ever seen on a cinematography level. It's really good still. And like the lighting, especially on like the lower decks, is really interesting. However, it's shot quite simply, but I think this was done for a bigger reason. When we get to moments in the show when characters have either been knocked out unconscious or they're dreaming, which happens quite a lot, and those moments are actually quite important to telling us what the hell is going on in the heads of these characters. The camera work and like the visuals are all sort of like warped. They're all like highly saturated, and they look really different to what would be just like in the normal world. And these moments are like really jarring, and they sort of like make you realize what's going on, and they impact you more. And that's really important, and I feel like that's really good filmmaking. So by allowing the rest of the show to be really normal, these moments that really matter and really elevate the piece are even more elevated because they're so different. And the costume design is so cool. Like, everyone has their unique sort of set of clothes that they wear, and you can instantly tell like who they are as a character, and you can also tell who they are. Like, there's so many characters introduced to you. There's so many characters that are flung at the audience, and you're expected to remember each one of them, but you do, because of like what they're wearing and how the characters are written. They're all so good. We've got to talk about the characters, actually. They managed to give every character like a really good backstory, and B, like a good amount of time to explore that. I feel like that they did center around a few characters more, but I have full faith that in Season 2, which has been confirmed, that we'll sort of focus on those other characters as well and have more time with them. Every character is so dang good in this show. I love the concept of this show. I love spinning the pirate genre on its head. My favorite game ever is Secret of Monkey Island, which does that like a lot. And I just love pirates in general. And I'm really happy I watched this show because I feel like I'm super inspired to start writing my own stuff. Because if I was ever going to write something, it was going to be pirate-based, unfortunately. And I love that this is such a fresh and unique take on pirates as a concept. I mean, this show is fully based on a true story. Steve Bonnet was a real-life gentleman pirate, and he also met Blackbeard. He, in fact, gave Blackbeard his ship in payment. Like, it's a true story, which is amazing. But I love that they've gone down this route of exploring, you know, found family, of love, of character development, and friendship. It's truly something special that they've got here. And I say that it's based on a true story. It's like lightly based on a true story, and I love that. Taika Waititi has come out and said that he just sort of threw all of his research away for this show, and I love that. I personally have this opinion that as long as a show has great representation, is telling a compelling and important story, has great jokes, and is written really well, then it's all good. Research doesn't really matter. It just gets in the way of storytelling, in my opinion, and you could say I'm totally wrong, and I'll agree with you. However, I hate research. I hate researching stuff for my writing projects. Yeah, I just love that they didn't really worry about having, like, perfect ship accuracy and perfect dialogue accuracy, because who gives a damn? It's Taika Waititi doing a Blackbeard impression. Like, what else could you want? And to be fair, quite frankly, there's nothing more that I could ever want. Our Flag Means Death is a perfect show. It's so good. It will make you cry. It's heartwarming. It's wholesome. And it's also masterfully created. Please do give it a watch. If you're looking for anything to watch, this is the thing. So that's everything I've got for you today. Thank you so much for sitting through the last, 12 minutes of me talking about gay pirates. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the love on my What We Do in the Shadows video. That was so amazing to see people liking that video. So thank you so much. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, I haven't got anything else for you. Thank you so much for watching. And can you do me one more thing before you go? Can you just have a lovely day? Thank you.